Today's Sunshine Note is titled, In the Shadow of the Invincible. Find rest, O my soul, in God alone. My hope comes from Him. He alone is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress. I will not be shaken. Psalms 62, 5 and 6. No army has ever bothered to attack the stronghold fortress in Salzburg, Austria, simply because there would be no point. I've been there and seen how it sits like an unruly bear atop the jagged stone cliffs surrounding the whole city. The Hohensalzburg Castle is one of the largest medieval castles in all of Europe, measuring more than 800 feet long and about 500 feet wide. The castle has always cast a long shadow not only over the city it protects, but also over any who choose to hide within its walls. Many a bishop and king, as well as residents of the town, fled to its impenetrable walls when an intruding army happened to pass by the city. Salzburg itself was a major place of trade and industry, centering on its winding river and the abundant salt mines found in the nearby Alpine mountains. Among its most famous homegrown residents are Mozart and Maria von Trapp of The Sound of Music. With a castle that had never been overcome, who wouldn't feel safe? This feeling of security is echoed in Psalm 62. David croons on about God in a somewhat curious allusion. In verse 5 he says his very soul finds rest in God alone, and his only hope for the future comes from Him. Then he paints a word picture of God as a solid rock and a fortress that will never be shaken. This song passes on to its listeners the idea that God is a constant source of security in a world that doesn't have much of it to go around. David doesn't say he just runs away from problems, but he knows that when he needs protection, he can call on God. It's as if God is his lifeline, the backup plan when everything else in life seems to be losing ground. But beyond this call-in and emergency aspect, he also says that his soul finds rest and his hope comes from God. That means that even in regular life, when he isn't feeling desperate, he goes through it without fear or anxiety because he can always turn and look up at the fortress that can't be shaken. It's a secure feeling to know that you always have a place to run to when things get bad. Just like those residents of Salzburg who live in the shadow of the impenetrable castle, we believers too stand in the shadow of a God whose protection of us will never be overcome. May God bless you today.